Hi, folks. Anthony here. Thank you for coming back to my show. Sometimes I do short polls, which I mention in my videos. And so let's take a look at my most recent one. Click on the community tab if you have difficulty finding it. And it's about Nora Ames. Oh no, Nora, who's quite famous in the ex-Scientology world. She happens to live near me here in Oregon. So I ask, is she really helping out? She's, had some issues with various people in the past. I won't go into all of that because I'm sure most of you know since I've gotten 157 votes, which is quite a tremendous amount. Anyway, 47% of the people say yes, she is helping destroy the Church of Scientology. 42% say no, she's playing into the hands of, and unfortunately, I'm limited to 36 characters on here for some reason. There's no good reason. But I think people understood that she's playing into the hands of the Church of Scientology's wishes, not implying that she's an agent of the Church of Scientology. I'm not doing that at all. But sometimes when you have all this infighting within the ex-Scientology world, you can be helping out the church more than you're hurting the church. And then 11% of the people say that they don't know. That's certainly valid. 23 comments, which is a lot. So let's take a look at some of the comments. I may not read all of them. This person says, I honestly say a pox on most of their houses. That's the houses of ex-Scientologists that are within the internet and YouTube sphere. So many ex-Scientologists have created such a toxic environment over the last year, causing many to lose interest. And I agree with you, Ryan M., 100%. I started many years ago watching Aaron Smith Levin. His videos were the first ones I watched every day, and I watched almost everything he did, and I've stopped doing that for the most part. KD Sima says, I don't think she's playing into anyone's hands, but she certainly isn't helping the situation. And I think many people agree with you there. 6 people, which is a lot. I mean, 6 doesn't sound like a lot, but when there's only 157 or whatever people voting, that's a lot. And also, these are probably the most recent, so people that voted earlier that might agree with this person or other people don't see their messages and so aren't liking them, even though they would. Okay. No longer interested in her. Plenty of others I can respect. Moving on. Okay, thank you. This person says Aaron is probably Church of Scientology. I think that that's probably a bit tongue-in-cheek. I think we all agree that he's not actively working for the Church of Scientology. She helps in spreading information about the misdeeds and abuses of the church. If this will help destroy it, we will have to wait and see. Nora has woken up the toxic abuses by Aaron Smith Levin. She has apologized for her role in enabling them. She should be given a second chance. Her content is very educational, and she is highlighting traits of a narcissist. And to be honest, I don't watch many of her videos, but I do see, doing some research, that a lot of her videos recently are about narcissists, and I think that that's a good direction to go, perhaps, and I think that that's also important information. Unless you've taken some psychology courses, which I've not, you often hear the word narcissist thrown around, but you don't truly know what it means. And if you're not really involved with a narcissist, either in a relationship or a family setting, that may not impact you, but it's still good to understand some of these concepts so that if you have a boss or a coworker who's a narcissist or who's on a spectrum or something along those lines, then it might help you understand and deal with that person. So anytime people are giving good information about psychological phenomenon, that's not psychic phenomena, but psychological, then I think that that's important. And this person's agreeing with them. Nora has gone off the rails. She is coming across as a vindictive harpy on a witch hunt against ASL, who has no character himself, and I fail to see how she is helping the cause by doing that. This says, I don't Nora seriously. Maybe it's supposed to say, I don't take Nora seriously. She's bad and toxic. She's not helping or hurting too much, but she's giving a lot of ex Scientologists a bad reputation. Not all of them are like her, so there is damaging, alas. And then 12 replies to that. I agree she's toxic. I don't think she has any idea, though. Bad, toxic. I think there is need for some self reflection before you label others. What ex Scientologist is giving a bad reputation? Surely you don't blame her for Aaron's behavior. Apart from him, who else has a bad rep? Oh, yeah, his buddy Louis. She's obnoxious. This is how she's giving ex Scientologist a bad name. I feel for her. Does make a difference. I think it's because they were not raised in the world most of us live in. That brings up a good point. A lot of people explain or excuse the bad behavior of various ex Scientologists, ascribing it to the fact that they were raised in a cult. And the thing is sometimes that can be true. Some of their bad behavior can be because they were raised in a very strict cult like this. But there's plenty of people in the world that are narcissistic, that make bad decisions, that stab people in the back, metaphorically, who weren't raised in a cult. So just because people were raised in a cult doesn't necessarily mean that they'll have these bad traits. I think that there's a lot of people like Mark Headley and Claire that, a lot of people that are partisans of Aaron don't like the Headleys. But I think for the rest of us, looking at them, they don't seem to be backstabbing people. They don't seem to be throwing people under the bus. They seem to just be doing, their own thing. So, I don't disagree with you that some of this might be because they're ex Scientologists, but that's not necessarily the whole explanation for all of everyone's behavior. Okay, so there's just some more going back here and there, but I really appreciate what everybody has said here. I'm going to stop here. There's still time for you to vote if you want to. I'd love to see how people vote, and I will provide some written responses for the people. So I really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.